Relationship advice. I have a special guest, Michelle. All right, so this question is coming from a 27-year-old female who husband's 29-year-old male. So my husband's assistant, who is a 31-year-old female, sent him a text asking him when he was going to divorce me. Um, so my husband's assistant, who is also a family friend, sent him a message asking him when he was going to divorce me. My Kindle, which is like an Amazon iPad you read books on, recently broke, so I've been using my husband's iPad to read ebooks. His phone is synced to it, so his messages show up on it. I hate that. What you? I just got an iPhone, but it's too much. It's like it wants you to get caught doing something.
Well, they're trying to make it succinct so that if you're not by your phone, you get your messages on your iPad. So you got to check that stuff if you gonna talk bad about your wife or talk funky about somebody.
Yeah. Okay. So this morning I was using it when he got a weird text from her. I didn't open it until I saw the message. When are you going to divorce her? The conversation went something like this: Michelle, you be her. I'll be him.
Had another fight? Question mark. You shouldn't put up with her. When are you going to divorce her?
I'm not.
You should. She's using pregnancy to be awful to you. You do realize that.
We're not having this conversation.
We should.
So, did you get that statement?
Whatever, fine.
My husband's assistant is also a family friend of his. They're like siblings since they've known each other their whole lives, and she's always been nice to my face. I'm honestly shocked by the messages, and I don't know if I should say anything or just act like I never saw them. Do I confront her? Do I confront him? Or should I just drop it? And here's some context. We had a dumb argument about pregnancy cravings. I'll admit it was mostly my fault, but my husband has a habit of buying me a small gift whenever we have an argument while he's at work to try to avoid a second argument, even if we've already made up, which is how I think she knows. I don't think he outright told her. It is to clarify. No, I haven't conditioned my husband to buy me gifts every time we argue. He's been doing this since he was young, according to my mother-in-law, and does it for every single person he's close to even now. I've told him he doesn't have to, but he insists he likes doing it. I only mentioned it in the original because his assistant also knows he does this and would know we had an argument if he asked her to get something. Also, saying he does it to avoid a second argument was probably unfair, but I was upset when I wrote the original and didn't really think about how my word choice would come across to an internet stranger. All right, so what do you think, Michelle?
I think it needs to be talked about because you're not going to be able to ignore this. You're just going to hold in resentment towards her or to him. I want to give him credit at least for saying I'm not.
And changing the subject.
Huh?
And trying to change, and changing, like I'm not going to talk to you about this.
Right. I think she's pressing the issue, so I think it needs to be a confrontation of both of them, like, bitch. I want to make sure there's nothing going on. Maybe she is. The assistant is coming more of as a family friend, and sometimes friends or family or your friends they always want to go hard for you and stuff.
Yeah.
But divorce ain't always the answer because I went off when you got some pregnancy cravings.
Yeah, and I feel like she's trying to give him, and I guess maybe he like she said, she knows they had another fight because he bought a gift. But and the thing is, I guess what would probably be good for her to tell her husband is that I saw the text messages from your assistant, and I think I don't really know what you told her. I don't think you said anything inappropriate when you told her you're not going to divorce me and everything, but I think it's probably in your best interest to not tell her about our relationship anymore, because it seems like you probably decided to tell her, oh well, this happened, and of course she's known you longer than me, so she's got more allegiance to you, because if Tamira were to tell me something about somebody she's dating, and it's just I'm just gonna remember that you did some messed up stuff. Like if it's a lot of mess up stuff all the time, I'm like, I'm through with this nigga. So it's just
which y'all been through with my niggas before in the past.
Yeah. So it's just
I have to learn. You don't tell
like,
everybody everything.
Right. It's like not always really through. It's just like if you're constantly telling somebody something negative about your significant other, then they're probably gonna think negative things. So it's like, it would bother me more because it's a female saying it rather than a male. But because then I'd be like, are you trying to get with him? But yeah, that's what I would tell him. I don't know what you would say to the woman, like, or if you like, I would want to say something, but I feel like it would need to be a conversation between the three of you all. What do you think?
I guess it depends on what y'all's relationship is. Like, if you, I guess you're right. Maybe more of a conversation you have with your husband is like, you probably need to. I appreciate you kind of cutting it short and everything, but
the thing is, like, for him, even if she tells him, you need to tell her that I don't want it to be an awkward situation because if she's your assistant still and still a family friend, I don't want it to be like some people's like, oh my gosh, oh. You know what I'm saying? But it's like I feel like if you all three sit down and talk, then you can say, I don't appreciate you saying that, and why do you feel, what I'm saying, just so everyone understands where everyone's coming from, and knowing where their place is. So because like if I had a friend and I'm just like, you should, and then they told me my wife saw what you said, I'd be kind of embarrassed and I'd be like, well, or I might get like more defensive and everything. But if you just get confronted all in the same, what I'm saying, I feel like it can be done better with him as the mediator since he kind of started it, I guess.
Well, now that I'm rethinking it, I think it probably is best that she just talks to her husband about it. And if she comes talking, hey girl, but like, then you divorce me now? Like I'm gonna say a slick comment so that I know, or at least have him tell her that I know what you know. But I don't know. It's just that's his assistant. But that ain't your friend, and so as long as you and your husband tight.
But she's a family friend. She's like a sibling. So it's like I feel like you can have that conversation. Like I don't want to be having like because I would still be slick pissed off like until he said something. I just want you to know that I know what you said. So I wanted to let you know it didn't come from him. I don't know how he's gonna tell you what it was. You know what I'm saying? But that's my opinion. So talk to your husband. I say talk to her too, but all together, not in like I'm gonna run up on you. So yeah, that's rated relationship advice.